Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Kel, from the Ace Podcast. It's my first ever podcast, and it's very special because I have today a very special guest, which is Roger.
Hello guys. Yes, interesting yung usapan natin today because it's going to be a dad story. It's going to be a personal experience for both of us. Anyway, ako si Roger, that, and I will be with Kiel for this podcast. And simulan na natin.
Nice. So, quick story lang muna. Roger and I, nagkakilala kami sa work. So, we are colleague. We are both nurses here in New Zealand working in emergency department. And it so happened na tuwing magbe-break kami, wala kaming time mag-break dahil we are so interested, like comparing stories, Q&A, how are you being a dad? Because disclaimer, guys, I'm a new dad. So I recently had my first baby, which is 2 months ago. I've got Eliana. So happy, so fulfilling. And you got Roger.
Yep, I have 2 kids. One is 22 months old and the other one is 2 months pa lang.
What the?
Yes.
It's so exciting,
So,
bro.
full on talaga yung schedule namin sa bahay. But it's really interesting na uuwi ka with these small kids.
It's very different. Like, before papasok ako sa work, honestly, I'm very focused sa work ko. I love doing my job. I love nursing. I love emergency stuff. Before, pag uwi ko ng bahay, what's left is probably 10% of my energy because we're working 12-hour shift. But now it's totally different. You don't want to waste energy sa work too much because you want to reserve half or probably more than of your energy para sa baby mo and for your wife.
Oh, tama yon. That's exactly also my experience sa bahay. Whenever nauuwi ako, excited ako lagi uuwi. Kasi parang this time, uuwi ka with something na masaya sa puso. No?
And you know, someone's waiting for you sa bahay. Like,
tama.
Anak mo. Like, it's so different. It's really, I can't find the right words how happy I am right now. If you guys will ask me, parang binigyan ka ng Panginoon ng another cup. Which is it's difficult because you are now responsible with parang buhay ng isang tao, responsibilidad ka na. And I don't know, walang nagsabi sa akin how. I mean, like, there's a lot of people na nagsasabi, oh, this is how you do it, this is how you do that, but it's all different. Pero wala akong natandaan na nagsabi na despite na ganito ka-heavy yung cup na ibibigay sa'yo, yung fulfillment na mararamdaman mo, ganito siya. Ganito yung klase ng fulfillment na mararamdaman mo.
Tama yon. Alam mo yung dopamine reward theory. Yung system na yon. Sabi daw, if you have inspiration like kids and family, that's the same amount ng dopamine release ng brain mo. Pareho nung halimbawa pleasurable experiences, coffee, drinks, going traveling. You know, as long as na parang you find it pleasurable, parang parehas din yung experience, especially when playing with kids, your own kid. You know, ganun din daw yung effect ng maximum release ng dopamine sa utak mo.
Feeling ko nangyari sa akin yan. Kasi before, nung binata pa lang ako, number one priority ko, aside kay Eileen, ang number one priority ko is tulog. Like, I can't live without proper sleep. Like 8 hours sleep ang minimum na eh. Minsan 6 or 7.
Wow, how could you do that?
I don't know, because wala akong ginagawa eh. Like, I'm just focused on work, and then I do work out, and then I made sure na dapat yung sleep ko ganito. I didn't realize na kaya ko palang mabuhay ng hindi ganun kahaba yung tulog. Kasi I remember, so balikan na natin yung moment nung nanganak si Eileen. Maybe in pagkapanganak niya, 72 hours, maybe I've been sleeping like an hour, putol-putol. But then I survived. We survived. So I think totoo yung sinasabi mo na dopamine release theory. It's real. It's real.
Speaking of dun sa experience ng pagpanganak, no? Na-experience ko din yon. Hindi ko na-realize na 72 hours wala akong kain. And wala akong maayos na tulog. Nung first baby namin, I was so excited lang.
So excited, bro.
Parang simula nung ano tawag doon, yung yung bag of water.
Oh,
Rupture ng
membrane.
bag of water. Simula nun, I think that was 9 in the morning. Tapos wala na akong tulog nun. Wala akong tulog dahil parang ina-anticipate ko na anytime lalabas na yung bata. So, parang yung kaba mo na parang excited ka na natatakot ka na hindi mo alam yung emotions mo kasi you're gonna be a dad. It's a responsibility. That's not only a contractual na ilang buwan lang. It's going to be forever.
It's forever.
It's going to be forever. So, yun lang yung excitement na you're going to raise this little human na with your guidance, and you have to be right. You have to be a role model na parang you have to be a right person, you know? You have to be just the right person for the little human.
Yeah.
Wala akong masabi dun sa kahit pagod.
Yeah.
Parang may extra battery ka na pag family mo na yung pinag-uusapan, yung own family na galing sa'yo, hindi ka maubusan ng battery.
Alam mo, nung pag nanonood ako like TikToks or anything, any video related sa social media, sometimes parang, I don't think that's even possible. How can you do that? But then, ngayon na na-experience ko na siya, hindi ko alam kung saan nanggagaling yung energy ko. Like, before, nanggaling to kasi nakumpleto ko yung gantong tulog, I ate this, I took vitamins, so that's why I'm like this. That's why gising ako, energetic ako. Pero ngayon, like parang, gaya nga na sabi mo, 72 hours. Walang sleep, walang food. But then, saan nanggagaling yung extra battery? Or yung parang, bakit parang nakaka-faint ka every time? Hindi ko alam, yun yung binibigay nila sa akin.
I think that's from your inspiration sa buhay mo.
Inspiration.
There's a new inspiration na parang, this is a different story.
It's a different story.
Ako naman, sinabi mo na busy ka. Naiingit ako sa sinabi mo, you sleep 8 hours? Ako hindi ko nagagawa yun.
Even nung binata ka?
Recently kasi bago dumating yung first baby namin, I was studying.
Oh, yes.
I was in university. I was doing another degree in business. So, ang tulog ko lang is maybe about 2 or 3 hours, max na yon. And then, I go to work. Then, in the morning, diretso ako sa school. And then, may baby pa kami sa bahay.
Okay.
That schedule. So, parang, and then, I have to think of activities para sa aming family. To bond. I take them out. Kakain kami sa labas. You know, a little activities na parang bonding nyo. It's really important.
Forward din, di ba, sa hobby? Kasi, like, realistically, we're very far sa mga mahal natin sa buhay. So, hindi nila alam kasi minsan bakit kailangan nyo pang gumawa ng activity kung pagod ka naman?
Tama.
Pero kasi minsan, you have to look after your mental health. Like, ang layo natin sa family.
It's not only work dapat, no? Parang...
With mental health saying, how are you, bro? Kasi, I do appreciate yung mga tao, like, they are worried or they try to emphasize how is the mental health of the mom because it's a whole process. But I'm here to ask you, how is your mental health as a dad?
Actually, no one asked me that question.
Yeah. Pero di ba seryoso?
Seryoso.
Like it's a topic. It's a long conversation. How was the mom's mental health?
Kasi ang focus natin, ang focus ng society natin is for the moms.
Yeah.
They don't focus on the dads. Na
much.
How is the dad
Yeah.
doing? How is the dad coping with all the stress? Kasi akala nila, yung dad walang stress. Hindi nila naiisip na yung responsibility mo na nandito, na naiisip mo, and yung stress na nagwo-worry ka sa partner mo, sa mga anak mo, kung anong mangyayari, especially during the delivery, especially during the first 1 year ng bata, magkakasakit ba to? But no one asked the question to the dads.
So how is your mental health?
I'm coping.
Yeah.
Kumbaga nagko-cope na lang tayo kasi that's a normal process siguro na we have to adjust. And sa society natin, parang as a man, you have to be strong.
You have to be the strongest one.
You have to be the strongest because sa'yo kumukuha yung asawa mo ng strength.
Yeah, that's true.
But yung topic na kumusta ka, walang nagtatanong na gano'n. And there is no support system sa mga tatay. I think that's a good thing to start.
That's a good question. Not because I'm having trouble with my mental health. I just realized na naisip ko lang if my mental health is not that strong. Maybe I'm not well at the moment. Kasi kami lang ni Aileen, like, it's just my wife here in New Zealand. So everything, lahat ng kailangan ni baby, it's just the two of us. I'm really lucky na I do have leaves, and the management where I work in, they're really considerate. Pero minsan na-realize ko, what if I do not have the privilege na meron ako ngayon? Like, they approve my leave right away. And then, because recently we have been in and out sa hospital twice or 3 times na.
Same.
So parang naisip ko, paano magko-cope ang isang lalaki, isang tatay kung hindi sila mentally healthy? Kaya parang pag may mga new dad, I just wanna ask them, how are you? How are you mentally? Are you coping okay? Because I am coping well, pero yung others, kaya parang it's a good conversation. Like, it's a good question to ask sa mga new dad, di ba? Like, how was your mental health?
Speaking of mental health, alam mo yung nandun din ako sa process na nakakapagod. And yung brain mo, a lot of ideas, a lot of thinking, a lot of yung mga scenarios na naiisip mo na pwedeng hindi naman mangyari. Parang nagwo-worry ka lang. And yun yung nakaka-depress sa'yo.
Yeah.
But I see it as yung situation na parang it's a normal process. It's not gonna be forever.
Yeah.
You know, it's the situation natin ngayon bilang wala tayong support sa house help.
Yeah.
Wala tayong mga ganon. Bilang nandito tayo sa New Zealand, we have to live on ourselves lang, yung partner and the kids. So, hindi uso dito yung mga yaya, mga ano, parang yaya. Darating ka sa bahay.
Bro, how I wish merong ganun dito. I'm not sure kasi parang sa Singapore or other
meron, pero so expensive.
Country, pero
if
mahal,
we can afford.
If we can afford, why not? I would choose that.
Pero yung condition kasi ng ano natin is very expensive.
It's expensive. It's I think it's the most expensive country at the moment, New Zealand.
But we're surviving.
We're surviving. We're happy. We're happy. Feeling fulfilled. It so happened that Aileen and I do have a good friends who are willing to go miles para lang tulungan kami. That's actually metamorphically and literally speaking. We do have support or friends from Wellington na na-appreciate namin. Like, they flew to Auckland just to help us in the next, like, nung nangyari yung nanganak si Aileen. It helped us a lot, but here we are, we survived. Ellie's now sleeping 5-6 hours
that's
a day
amazing.
or every night.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Wow.
That's a good help para sa amin na natutulog na siya. Pero before, I didn't even know, like, parang, okay, nakaya pala namin, na-survive pala namin. Aileen, grabe, bro.
Yung challenge ng tulog talaga.
Challenging yung tulog.
Especially sa mga moms, kung makikita mo yung mga moms, parang gumagapang na sila sa sobrang wala na silang energy dahil kaka-feeding, kaka-soothe sa bata. And na-experience ng mga dads yung hirap na yon, the same as the moms. But there is no question about okay ka lang dun sa mga dads. The moms always like, they have support system with their friends. Yung mga babae, they would talk about, hey, kumusta ka na?
We need to help her.
Ganon. But the dads, we don't have that.
Seldom.
I think so. Pero that culture is not.
It's not open.
It's not open.
It's not normal. Or I don't know.
So I take it day by day na lang. So ganon na lang yung iniisip ko kasi sabi ko, temporary lang yung status natin, yung situation natin. It's not gonna be forever. So why don't you take it day by day, and then you survive, you know?
Yung mga friends namin, they were like asking us, so what's your plan? What's next after this? Honestly, I've been so open sa kanila. Like, at the moment, siguro ngayon, ang plan, kasi parang, I tried to make plan like, after 2 years, ganito dapat. After a year, ganito tayo dapat, Aileen or babe. But then, nung dumating si Ellie, our plan is...
I can relate.
What are we gonna do after a week? After 2 weeks? It's very micro plans. Like one, like what you've said, day by day. Like Small steps lang talaga. Walang bigger plan. We don't have big plan at the moment. We just wanna live the moment.
Alam mo, nakaka-relate ako dyan dahil dati, nung bago pa lang kami without the kids, ang dami naming plans.
Yeah.
Like, travels, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, start from this. Pero nang nandun na yung baby, parang ang nagagawa na lang namin is take it day by day, enjoy every moment, and just enjoy being a parent.
Just enjoy it. So, what's your take sa mga nagsasabi na wag masyadong binubuhat si baby dahil masasanay? Can I get your opinion about it?
I think totoo yun. I think totoo yun kasi nung bata, yung a few months pa lang yung yung baby, yung first baby namin, parang sa sobrang excited ka na may anak ka, lagi mo siyang kalong, lagi mo siyang buhat-buhat ng ganon. Until na 6 months na parang meron na silang, parang alam na nila na binubuhat sila at nakalapag. Pag nakalapag sila, umiiyak na sila. I think that's their coping about security. They feel that they are secured pag buhat na buhat mo sila kumpara sa pag
nakalakad lang sila sa lapag. No? Well, my take, Eileen, and yung take namin mag-asawa is we try to baby Ellie as much as she needed it. Kasi parang yung aming belief is darating yung time na magiging curious siya sa kung ano nangyayari sa surroundings niya. Darating yung time na she will choose na puntahan yung mga bagay na na-curious siya. Like, for example, mas curious na siya sa ganitong bagay. Tatry niya na doon na tumingin, try niya na hawakan to. Feeling namin makakalimutan na rin niya yung term na parang, I need to be cuddled. Parang sa amin, like, day by day.
That's a good thing.
Parang day by day, sige lang, kung gusto niya magpa-baby, gusto niya magpa-cuddle, let's just cuddle her.
Kami din.
No, parang let her be.
Ito pa din, parang, hindi mo kasi kaya ako, parang hindi ko kaya yung umiiyak siyang mag-isa.
Hindi ko kaya.
Parang nadudurog talaga ako pag
literal,
hindi ko.
Parang crushing pain.
My goodness. Halika dito.
Stop.
Kahit na pagod ako in the middle of the night or hanggang umaga, talagang nakakadil siyang ganon. Kasi, ang iniisip ko naman doon, hindi naman sila bata forever eh.
Yeah. That's our take as well.
They won't be infants forever. No. Kaya enjoy natin yung moments na nakakadil na nila. Pag 10, 11 teenagers na sila, wala nang moments na ganun eh. So, magre-recall ka na, I could have hugged them.
Diba? Nung
bata pa sila. I could have spent more time with them.
Kasi pag naglakad na yan, hindi na yung magpapakilik sa'yo. I'm pretty sure, like, everyone's having a problem with their toddler na parang ang likod-likod, ayaw magpakilig, gusto maglakad, diba? Kaya ang stand namin, Aileen, sa ngayon is, let's just baby her if she needs to be baby.
Tama. I think that's fair.
Yeah?
I think that's fair.
I think it's fair.
Hindi, kasi alam mo yung practice dito na parang sleep training, yung papabayaan mo lang sila until na mag-self-soothe sila. Mapapasama siguro ako sabihin, pero I don't believe. I don't know, ikat mo na lang to, pero I think I'm not a fan of taking the baby in the separate room para matulog and self-soothe.
I agree with you as well. Parang
I think it's my culture. It's our culture.
It's our culture. Hindi part ng culture natin na parang mayroong separate room ang baby. Like baby, hello, baby nga yan eh, 'di ba? Like parang paano yung self-soothe? Para sa akin self-soothe, okay, sige, 5 minutes nag-cry si baby. Huwag mo man nang kunin. Like magsi-self-soothe yan. Pero hello, mayroong kasing klaseng iyak na walang dito tatahan hangga't hindi mo kinikilig.
Tapos sumusuka pa sila, diba? Nakatain, yung mga ganun.
Like what I'm saying, parang si Ellie nga kapag ilalagay na namin sa playpen para may kailangan ka lang gawin, like urgent, 5 minutes, you need to go toilet. So, magka-cry siya after few minutes. Like, parang hindi mo pa talaga siya makikilig. Pero pagka dumating yung time na pwede mo na siyang kiligin, yung itsura niya parang feeling betrayed, na parang, where have you been? I've been crying here. Asan ka? Anong klase kang ama? Parang yun yung gusto niya sabihin sa'yo.
Alam mo, totoo yun. Yung parang nakakakonsensya na iniwanan mo sila for few seconds. I think because we're so loving parents.
It's in our culture.
It's in our culture then. hindi ko ini-invalidate yung culture ng iba. But this is how I was raised.
Yep.
This is how I was raised as a child na you have a security with your parents. You have to feel na secured ka sa family mo. So that when you grow up, parang yung security mo hindi mo hahanapin sa iba.
Yeah, exactly.
You are secured with yourself kasi you grew up with that kind of environment.
Yeah.
Maganda yon.
Balikan lang natin bro nung so 'di ba nag-rupture yung membrane or pumutok yung panubigan ni Princess. What happened during that? Is it yung first or second baby mo?
First baby.
First baby. Anong nangyari nung pumutok na yung panubigan ni Princess?
After non, I was cooking in the morning, cooking breakfast. Sobrang excited ako na magkaroon na ng baby and makita ko na finally, after 9 months, alam mo yung nakaluto ako ng 3 ulam. Nakaluto ako ng 3 ulam sa sobrang gusto ko nang bilisan ng mga panahon. So, yung first baby namin was very intense, yung schedule. Wala namang problema sa labor. Very short period yung labor niya. Siguro mga 3 hours. And then, lumabas na si baby at 5:55.
3 hours?
3 hours. Around about 3 hours.
Oh,
Nag-induce sila ng tablet. Binigyan ng tablet. And 5:55 in the afternoon, lumabas. Yeah, it's so memorable yung sa akin yung 5:55.
Nice.
It's so branded.
Oh, 5:55 tuna.
Hindi po to sponsored ng Century.
Hindi siya sponsored ng
And
Mega
hopefully, meron, malay mo, parinig
soon.
lang. And, pero sobrang na respect ko dun sa staff ng North Shore Hospital. Kasi medyo, maganda yung experience namin sa delivery. Yung midwives and yung staff doon, yung mga nurses, yung mga OB. Maganda yung approach nila. Although, medyo nagkaroon lang siya ng sobrang bleeding dahil sa 4th degree tear.
Oh, okay.
I think dahil siguro yon sa several factors na. And yung feeling lang na 72 hours kang walang kain at walang enough na tulog and na-survive mo yon, that's an amazing story.
Oh, grabe. Naalala ko yung kay Eileen. I think I was from night shift. Nang habang nasa night shift ako, sabi niya nagka-cramps na nga daw siya. So sabi ko, okay. Magkakaroon na ng false labor and then true labor. Alam mo, parang G1, first time, tagal pa yan. So, ayun, umuwi ako, natulog ako from night shift, and then sabi niya sa akin, pagising ko, parang medyo tuloy-tuloy na daw yung contraction. So, prior to that day, siya naman ang nakapagluto ng 3 putahe. Nagluto siya ng 3 putahe. Like, para lang, for some reason, lahat ng meat dito, lutuin ko na. Siguro, para wala nang siyang isipin, luto na lahat. And then, the whole, pagising ko, siguro mga around 4 p.m., sabi niya na parang parang patrol labor na daw yung nangyayari. Until like 2 in the morning, na kailangan na namin i-message yung midwife. So, message namin yung midwife, in-advise kami punta na ng hospital. Pagdating ng hospital, actually, before pa namin tawagan yung midwife, yung nangyayari is parang, this is true labor. Alam mo na true labor na to. Then, in-advise kami ng midwife na mag-hospital. Hindi pa siya 1 cm. Like, pabukas pa lang. Hindi pa, not even 1 cm. Pero sabi ng midwife, okay, let's consider this as 1 cm. So, umuwi ulit kami ng bahay. Pero pag uwi namin ng bahay, every, like, less than 3 minutes or less than 2 minutes, nagko-contract si Eileen. And then, yung pain niya is like 10 out of 10 talaga. Noon ko lang siya nakitang nagkaganon. So, I believe na true labor na yun. And then, around...
Bumalik ka na hospital?
Bumalik kami ng hospital, like 10 in the morning. Pagbalik namin ng hospital, nag-check ng urine, blood pressure. Doon na parang elevated yung blood pressure ni Eileen, and then meron ng protein sa urine niya. So they were ruling out na late onset preeclampsia na si Eileen. So inadmit na si Eileen. And then after that, nag-decide na sila na i-induce si Eileen.
So yun ba yung reason kung bakit siya na CS?
Parang aside from that, yung parang placement ng head ni Ellie is the other way around. Though, kaya daw yun in normal. Kaya that's why parang tinatry nilang in normal pa si Aileen.
Pero nag-active labor pa rin siya.
Active labor talaga. Nag-active labor talaga siya. And then, in-induce na siya, nag-drip na, walang progress. Ang bagal ng progress. Hanggang sa in-epidural na siya. After epidural, noon na siya nakakatulog. Parang medyo okay na. So, akala ko, okay, kaya na to. Kaso despite epidural, humaba pa rin ang humaba. Tapos eventually, nararamdaman na ni Aileen yung pain kahit may epidural siya. Nag-stiff na yung shoulder niya. Parang things were getting complicated. And then dumating yung gynae, she's 9 cm. But then mataas pa din. And then they offered her cesarean section. Nag-agree naman kami. And then we ended up having the operation. Pero parang, gaya nga na sabi mo, yung service na natanggap nyo sa hospital, like parang 10 out of 10. Sa amin din ganun. Parang gusto ko lang i-appreciate yung kung nasan tayo ngayon. Like, we're in New Zealand, we have free healthcare dito. Isipin mo, bro, she labored for 46 hours, na epidural, baka feeling ko, nag-meconium stain si Ellie sa loob. Nag-stay kami sa hospital for 5 days. She was taking Severdol, fentanyl, everything, a lot of expensive medication. Roughly siguro baka naka $500,000 kami kung nasa Pilipinas kami. Pero umuwi kami with prescription. Zero, guys.
Zero.
Wala kaming
balance.
binayaran.
Wala talaga, wala.
Like, sabi nga
And that's
namin,
amazing.
Okay, ang laking tulong, di ba? Like, doon mo ma-appreciate yung tax mo.
Oo. Kaya ako din na nagre-reklamo sa tax ngayon.
Ako din, hindi na ako nagre-reklamo.
With the services na nakukuha sa blanket, diba? sa midwives.
Tuloy-tuloy yan.
Sa community support. Yung social services maganda.
Actually, mula nung nalaman namin na buntis si Aileen, we go to GP regularly. Walang bayad, di ba? Like, there's no fee sa GP consultation kasi parang funded ata siya. And then, they will offer you a lot of services. You can talk to this, you can access this. This is your ultrasound with parang konti lang babayaran mo kasi half is funded. Ang daming services na na-appreciate ko nung nangyari na sa amin.
Totoo.
Di ba?
Ako din, I appreciate na sobra ang community, ang social services ng New Zealand, especially sa mga babies and pregnant women, ang support nila is 100% talaga. And
100%.
I think ang mortality rate ng mga bata dito ay mababa. Because they're fully supported in the community. From the start na nagbuntis ka until na few months na several months, until 1 year nga
Meron pang best start di ba?
May best start pa program. Balik tayo dun sa moment na on labor si Aileen and bigla kayong magde-decision ng it's a cesarean section. Dumating din ba sa point sa'yo na parang kahit na nurse ka, yung knowledge mo and yung mga anatomy mo, ang galing-galing mo, biglang nawala. Parang nandun ka sa moment na asawa lang ako.
Like, parang, I would only say yes and no. Huwag niyo akong tanungin ng any medical.
Parang gano'n. Parang limited yung information ng utak na nire-release na naiisip mo dahil stressful yung situation.
Sa situation na yun. Actually, nung nangyari nga yan, like 46 hours nga nag-labor. So, syempre, we're updating our family and friends sa Philippines. Good thing about Philippines, you know how health services naman din sa Pilipinas, like we go high talaga. Like everything, you can access naman talaga sa Philippines as long as you have money, di ba?
Yep.
So they were like asking us, bakit hindi pa siya ECS? Bakit hindi pa siya ECS? Ang tagal nang nag-labor, she's exhausted. Which is, ako nga, bakit hindi pa siya ECS? Ang tagal na, 46 hours na. Like, kung siguro hindi sa akin nangyari yun, I can give them reasons bakit hindi pa tayo nag-CCS. But then, parang dahil andun ako sa situation na yun, like parang nag-go lang ako sa flow, like parang, yes, midwife, yes, midwife.
Alam mo, then,
okay, let's just wait
yun.
a little bit more. Kahit in-pain na siya, kaya pa yan,
Totoo yun. Parang nawawala yung role, nawawala yung
clinical, yung professional judgment mo, no? Like, kung nurse ka so dapat you have the right judgment na reasonable kapag na-raise mo sa kanila. But then nawawala yun dahil parang hindi, parang ako yung involved. Tama ba?
Oo nga eh.
Like,
But, ito yung question ko, are we just being nice?
I think we're just being nice. Kasi nung inaisa amin sa Eileen ng midwife niya, I don't wanna interfere.
Ayoko magdrama dun eh. Ayoko mag-create ng...
I don't wanna be that kind of nurse.
Ayoko din.
I don't wanna be that kind of medical professional na parang...
Ayoko mag-create na entitled ka, na nurse ako, kailangan ko na, may knowledge akong ganito.
And ayoko din siguro yung feeling na kasama tayo sa handover.
Pressure tayo.
Like, this room, this patient, they are
tatay
both
nito,
nurses. And you know what that means, right? Like parang, ayoko ng ganun.
Nakakairita yung tatay nito. So, bigyan natin ng maraming
inalis ko yung sarili ko sa ganong status na hindi ko na naibalik. Hanggang sa naman si Aileen na parang, yes. Alam mo ba, sabi nung Anes sa akin, maupo ka muna dyan ka lang kay Aileen kasi baka tumumba ka. Kasi karamihan, pag nakakita ng dugo, tumutumba. Gusto ko magsalita na parang, everyday nga yan sa bugang ulo, sa ED. Kami yung nagpa-first hand. Hindi ako nagsalita. Tumabi talaga ako kay Aileen.
Alam mo, ang nangyari din niya sa akin, sabi nung nasa theater na kami for the second baby, sinasabihan lang ako ng nurse, diyan ka tumayo, diyan ka. Yeah. Parang akong, sige, dito lang ako. Alam mo yung, parang wala akong parang pinagsasabihan lang ako na kung ano yung gagawin ko, ginagawa ko.
Pero pag sinabi natin sa kanila na, no, it's fine, I'm actually a nurse. I think magiging iba yung treatment. I think we're just really
I think magiging iba yung dynamics kasi parang entitled. Parang gano'n yung
I think we're just really trying to be nice din talaga.
I think it's true na we're just being nice and gusto natin yung approach din natin sa kanila would be nice para i-treat tayo ng nice sa hospital.
Saka para hindi rin ma-mask yung gusto nilang gawin. Like yung yung pathway na gusto nilang gawin. Kasi gaya nga na sabi mo, mag-iiba yung dynamics na parang, oops, he's a nurse. Alam niya yung ginagawa. So, parang ayaw mong maiba yung mood ng room.
Totoo.
So, parang, sige, bahala
kasi
ka.
Kasi pag ikaw din yung nurse na naglo-look after sa ganong tao, ayaw mo din ng ganon eh.
So, ayaw ko nga din ng ganon. Kaya parang I tried to be professional. Professional bantay ba tawag sa akin nun? Kapag ganon, like, hindi ko siya pinakikialaman, professional bantay naman matatawag.
But I can say na yung healthcare system, in terms of pregnancy, yung maternal and child services, how do you rate it?
I think 9 out of 10 para sa akin.
Ako din, similar. Maybe 9.5 out of 10. May mga konting, syempre, hindi perfecto, hindi perfect yung bawat healthcare system ng bansa. Ang daming mga problema dyan. But 9.5 and 9 is good.
It's high. Actually, kaya ko siyang bigyan ng 10 out of 10. Para lang sa akin, 9 out of 10 dahil nurse ako. I know how things work. So parang may mga bagay na parang, parang dapat nagawa ito kung nakita ito. Or parang dapat hindi ganito, pero sige. But then overall, like, mula ng pagka nalamang buntis hanggang sa nanganak, up to now, na parang 10 weeks old na yung baby namin, like yung baby nyo, you guys still get a good service from the government, like yung healthcare na pinoprovide
yung blanket
nila.
diba?
Blanket.
Yung
vaccines are free.
Vaccines, oo. So, as a parent, how are you going to be as a dad? What's your style of being a parent?
Honestly, hindi ko alam. Pero, parang naiisip ko is, I just want to be yung klase ng dad na kung ano yung gusto mo. Like, hindi ko sabihin sa'yo hindi ko didikta kung anong dapat mong hobby, hindi ko didikta kung anong dapat na kurso mo. Siguro, ayun nga, like parang, hindi ko siya didiktahan. Pero gusto kong i-ano sa kanya, kung siguro kung toddler na siya, gusto ko sa kanya ipatry lahat. Kung ano yung like, gusto mo itry, sige gawin natin. No matter what, kung magustuhan mo ba siya, hindi mo ba siya maituloy. Parang ganyan lang. Gusto ko lang maging easy lang yung fatherhood para sa akin. Saka parang ayoko na maisip niya na parang she needs to be perfect. Kasi may ganun, di ba? Like parang, you need to be perfect, you need to be like this, you need to be like that. Ikaw, anong style mo as a...
Ako naman...
Nakikita mo, anong klaseng pagpapalaki? What kind of parent ang gusto mo mangyari? Maging...
Ako naman, I think I'm going to be a parent who guides. Ang role ko siguro as a dad is to guide them doon sa decisions na gusto nila. And to validate yung decisions na kung okay ba yun at hindi. Kasi para sa akin bilang isang magulang, as a parent, we want our children to be the better version of themselves. And gusto kong ma-achieve nila yung better life than what I have. That's what we want for the children. We always want the best for them. And somehow, parang gusto natin yung version natin ng buhay natin, parang ma-elevate pa yung buhay nila. And I think we can achieve that through support and guide. Kasi yung mga bata, impulsive yung decisions nila Impulsive yung decisions nila, especially pag mga teenage pa sila, early 20s. No? The decisions would be very delicate. Yung iba hindi masyadong napag-iisipan. And I think that's where the roles of parents go. Dahil I think that's where the roles of the parents come in. Dahil
and that's how it should be naman, di ba?
Dahil you validate that decisions and you see it as kung tama ba yung magiging desisyon ng anak mo dahil napagdaanan mo na yun. You've been through that experience, you know. You became very impulsive din naman doon sa mga decisions mo ng bata ka pa.
Proven.
Yung mga nagkakamali and and I would let them experience to fail.
Yeah. It's an important teacher. Failure.
I would like them to experience yung failure na guided failure, I think. Dahil doon ka matututo yung best direction, yung best pivot ng buhay mo would be starting from a failure.
It's different kasi kapag nandun ka sa situation na yun or naramdaman mo, di ba? Siguro maganda rin as parang parent is pag nag-fail na, parang ikaw yung plan B para sa akin is parang, okay, so nag-fail ka. Ayokong sabihin sa kanya na, yan yung sinasabi ko sa'yo. Ayokong sabihin yun. Ang gusto ko sana as a parent is, okay, nag-fail ka, okay, what's our plan? How do we correct this? Anong gusto mong gawin ko? Anong gagawin mo mula ngayon?
I think that's where the role of guidance is.
Diba? No? Parang ang ganda pang ganun.
Yung parang maganda yung after they fail, they come home and approach the parents na instead na blaming the children on doing that failed, say, relationship or failed endeavor in life, I think dun ka papasok to process that experience. What did you learn from that experience? How did you approach that experience? How are you as a person? How you develop your values through that experience? Paano ka naging tao at bagong tao dahil sa experience na yun?
That's very nice. I think parang dun ka din magmamature
Yeah, that's the maturity.
That's how you get
starts.
maturity di ba? Like kapag na-experience mo yun. Is that the same value na binigay or nakuha mo when you were a kid?
I think the values you have right now are the collection of your experiences.
It's a collective experience from your experience, kung saan ka nag-aral, kung yung parents mo, kung ano yung experience nila as a kid. Parang it's a domino effect, di ba? It's a domino effect.
How you navigate your environment is the result of your values now, yung mga pananaw mo ngayon. So, yung experience mo from childhood, which may not be good, sabihin natin, or better, or good, may excellent, throughout the process of who you are now, ang dami mong learnings na natutunan doon, and those experiences, I think, create values and principles that you have now.
Tama.
Kaya, hindi natututunan, parang hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, yung values na to, galing sa parents ko lang.
It's a collective.
It's a collective experience, and that's how you're being formed as a person.
Tama. Na, I just remember I think I consider my my childhood or my life, it's not actually perfect.
There's no perfect childhood.
Yeah. My parents, they are not perfect. Pero para sa akin, everything na ginawa nila it's just the right thing. You know? Siguro hindi yun mag-a-apply sa'yo, pero nag-apply sa akin. They're not very pushy like, oh, you dapat ganito ka, dapat ganyan ka. It's me. Parang sa akin yun, like parang, oh, dapat by the age of ganito, dapat nasa ibang bansa na ako. So, at the age of 24, nagpunta ako ng New Zealand. I have to be like this, I have to be like that. It's not because ganun yung gusto ng parents ko, pero parang it's my own decision. And then they were there just to guide me. And hanggang ngayon, like every decision I made or every decision na gagawin ko, I know that they're just there supporting me, even though ang layo namin sa isa't isa. Parang gusto ko ganun din yung maging relationship namin ng baby.
I think that's true. Yung what you get from your parents, you bring that to your family as a new parent.
Yeah. Pero filtered, no? Dapat fini-filter. Parang you get all the nicest things and then you add another nice thing na may
Kasi
papasa.
depende siguro yon on how your parents show you what life is, how to attack problems. I think if those characters na ng parents mo ay very ideal, tatatak yun sa'yo eh.
Oh.
If it's going to be traumatic, tatatak din yun sa'yo. And kung ano yung experiences mo in the past would have an effect in your present now.
And how you perceive life, di ba?
How you see things. Really. Kaya makikita mo, kung ano yung personality mo ngayon, you parang mapipredict mo kung saang environment ka galing.
No? Parang alam mo, like, parang medyo traumatic yung experience niya before. This person come from a happy, loving family, happy, loving environment. No?
Tama.
Gusto ko lang si Ellie is magkaroon siya ng magandang pananaw sa buhay. Like, appreciate small things.
Sabi nga nila, alam mo yung, if you want to be happy in life, live through the eyes of a toddler. Live through the eyes of the children. Kasi, alam mo yung how children look at environment na may surprise, na may excitement.
Yeah.
Yung approach nila everyday towards people na, hi! And when they see simple things like, sabihin natin, dagat lang, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Simple
Beach?
toys, wow.
Mapupul tayo,
You know,
yes!
if you live through that every day, you know, how exciting your life is going to be.
Yeah, I know.
Diba?
Nakakamiss no? Nakakamiss din maging bata.
Yung parang inosente ka to. Wow, dahon. Wow, prutas, apple. Simpleng pagkain. Simple things
Jollibee!
in life. Ano yung last take mo into becoming a parent?
Well, para sa akin, if someone's listening here or someone's watching us na bagong magulang, gagaan din yan. And also, I don't think anyone or meron tao dito na naging new parent na naging ready sila. I don't think merong tatay na dumating yung moment na naging tatay na siya na fully equipped siya. If you're hearing this podcast or if you're watching this video, that's good if you're preparing. But prepare yourself for more. Prepare yourself for worse. Pero ang sasabihin ko lang sa inyo, yung fulfillment ng nararamdaman ko ngayon is hindi ko pa naramdaman before. It's a different kind of fulfillment. It's a different kind of happiness. It's a different kind of outlook in life. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. And para naman din sa mga nakikinig na merong different outlook or different experience, this is just my own words. This is what I'm experiencing right now. It could be different to others, but just to give a realistic and the positive note of being a parent. It's a fulfilling role to be a dad. Yeah. How about you? What's your last take as a new dad?
Sabi nga, you can never be ready with life because hindi mo alam yung mangyayari kinabukasan.
Yeah, that's true.
So, ang approach ko is take life as a parent day by day. Kung ano ang ibato sa'yo ngayon, and yun yung i-treat mo. Kung ano ang challenge sa'yo ngayon, that's yung challenge na isosolve mo ngayon. Don't go forward, overthink forward na, itong magiging problema namin in 10 years. No. Kasi hindi mo mapipredict yung time. Walang sino man sa atin ang masasabing na paghandaan ko ang pagiging tatay.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Until na nandun ka na sa experience na yon.
Exactly.
Wala. But that experience, that moment na nandun ka na, is so fulfilling.
Diba?
Oo.
Iba yung pakiramdam.
Iba
guys.
yung nararamdaman mo nung bago pa lang kayo at naging mag-asawa kayo kumpara doon sa nagkaroon kayo ng anak. Yung bond nyo together ay talagang parang, I can say, unlimited. Pag talagang match kayo sa isa't isa.
Madagdag ko lang, di ba, sabi nila is like, because kagaya namin ni Aileen, we were together for like 11, 12 years na. Right after nung wedding namin, naging iba yung relationship namin. Parang feeling namin like parang naging sweet ulit kami. Then, kinasal tayo. Pero yung parang mag-glue sa relationship nyo is yung baby. Like, hindi kami gaya ng dati nung nagliligawan kami, nung parang kami pa lang, nung parang bata. Hindi kami ganun ka-PDA ngayon. Pero alam mo sa sarili mo na parang, this is love. Like, parang mas nag-grow yung love nyo nung lumabas yung bata. Masasabi,
I think that, I agree ako dun.
Sabi ko nga parang, it's unexplainable. It's a different kind of fulfillment. It's a different kind of love na parang, ang weird. Kasi parang, 30 ka na pero ngayon mo lang naramdaman. No? Masaya.
Masaya. Kaya, alam mo yung, yung pagiging parent sa akin is going to be a forever relationship with another human being, your children, your partner. And dapat parang ayusin mo yung buhay mo then as a role model for them. I think that's you have to become a better person then sa sarili mo. And becoming a better person is a learning process. Everyone's not perfect. Hindi tayo perfecto lahat. Pero just try, you know? Just try to be a better person today and tomorrow.
Yeah. It's always, kahit anong araw, anong oras, is always the best time to start kung feeling mo kailangan mo mag-start or mag-restart. Diba?
And that's so exciting. And that's how we end our podcast now with how to become a parent.
How to become a parent. First-time parent.
First-time parents. Yeah, I can say na I'm still a new parent kasi yung gap nila is
very, parang 2 years old.
1 year, more than 1 year. And I'm still discovering a lot of things about being a dad. And I'm also discovering a lot of things about being a partner. And that makes my excitement every day to explore yung mga moments na yun. That excites me.
Para sa akin, ito yung favorite role ko sa buhay. Sa ngayon, ito yung favorite role ko sa buhay, ang maging isang ama.
Oh,
Hindi,
I like that.
Gusto ko, ito yung parang favorite role ko sa ngayon. It's been 10 weeks lang na ama na ako, pero masasabi ko na it will be my longest favorite role.
Yung next podcast ko is about Ikigai.
Ikigai.
Yeah, nice. Ikigai is about finding your reason, finding your purpose in life.
Where can we hear from you, Roger?
I have a Spotify now.
Nice.
I am starting to put up my podcast sa podcast ko, The Moments Talk, on my podcast. I will be available on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and some other social media platforms. But I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
Ang laking process pa kasi I have a toddler and I have a 7-week-old. Seven.
It's a whole
7-week-old
process.
baby.
Yeah.
Matagal yon yung process na yon. And shooting one scene shooting one episode, making one episode is so challenging.
We're just actually lucky na meron tayong 1 hour to do this podcast, to be honest. This podcast will be out sa aking account, which is Kiel de la Cruz. It's my personal account, but this podcast is named The Aced Podcast. I will try to upload this sa Spotify, but definitely the video podcast will come out sa YouTube, and clips will be out sa Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Right. So guys, thank you very much for listening, and thank you guys for watching us. It's so interesting talk with Kiel. Thank you very much, Kiel.
No, thank you, Roger. Thank you for coming down. I think it's a podcast. It's a collaboration no one expected.
I like that.
Diba?
That.
No one expected this. Ikakat ko to, pero I've known Roger since 2018.
Kilala na nila ako. Pero hindi ko pa sila kilala.
Oh,
Grabe.
Thank you, bro.
And that's it. Wow.